So, Boker Tov, first of all, we always have to thank the Rabbi Shalom, those that have the schus to live in the luscious meadows of Muncie and the Chadoma and the mountains to enjoy such incredible weather. But that's not the topic of today. The topic of today is, first I want to clarify, Baruch Hashem, I see the koyach of the WhatsApp and the internet to disseminate halacha is Pilei Ploim. I'll tell you a vote from Rav Nachman. He says that Shalom is a Roshei Tevis V'da Mashetoshiv La'apikoiris. And it's a long arichus, it's not for now, but the idea that halacha creates actually a shalom bais within a person. Because he says that the source of every machlekes, shaloi l'shem shamayim, has to be nurtured and connected, meaning it has to it's called yanika. It has to be nursing and be nurtured by something that is kodesh, and that is a machlekes l'shem shamayim. So how do you solve and get rid of machlekes shaloi l'shem shamayim? Is you got to solve a machlekes l'shem shamayim. How do you solve a machlekes l'shem shamayim? Is you learn halacha. You learn halacha, you make peace between two amoraim and tanaim, because now we know what to do. So you could see when there's no peace. You can see an example. Baruch Hashem, I spoke on, it's always hard, you say divrei halacha, and you have to be very careful. So I mentioned mouthwash. I want to already clarify now, mouthwash and tishe beav. Number one, mouthwash and tishe beav was not with any water afterwards. And in fact, that's the main principle, so that's number one. It's not with water. In fact, the Minchas Yitzchak says, similar to mouthwash, a person could take toothpaste and basically use it to put it in one's mouth. That would also work. The idea being is that you're getting rid really of what's called of lichluch, of dirt in a person's mouth. Therefore, it's also important not to confuse Tisha B'Av and Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is a din d'oraisa, and therefore I would never chas v'shalom be meiko. It's a din of rechitza. It's much more complicated. Even the concept of mouthwash, or someone asked me those strips that people use, that too, the explanation has to be clear. It's only using something that a person is using not to create a good taste in one's mouth, like the Ramah, the Lashon Ramah, which is really the source for everything, is called Atze Kinam, and they used to chew and perhaps a little bit gargle to make it moist in their throat with cinnamon sticks. So that's what I wanted to clarify. There are shitas that are more machmir when it comes to mouthwash. This I got to shmuz with my Rabbi Rabbi. He was also meiko badava, and the same so he said most people are trying to just remove the lichluch from their mouth. And I wanted to add that perhaps maybe not only is it a kula, it's really perhaps even a chumrah, meaning to say that it's ben adam lechavera. What's more important than if a person is considering when they wake up and they're going to be amongst people, a ben adam lechavera, that their breath is at least presentable. You know, I once said, it reminds me of a story, a big lesson that I once learned. Years ago, I was a mashgiach in an old age home. And I was young, and I remember there was a whole group of non-Jewish people, they're officers, top positions in the nursing home there in Riverdale. It's a very big nursing home. Anyway, there was a person there that was clearly wearing a shirt that was totally sweaty, and it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for the person, it was embarrassing for the people with him. But it was very noticeable that no one knew how to go over to this person and tell him, perhaps you should change your shirt, etc. I saw people were clueless, including myself. Not that it wasn't really my place anyway. Anyway, finally someone comes over, puts his hand around the guy's shoulder, says, Doug, only a friend will tell you, like he takes him to the side, he says, only a friend will tell you that you really got to change your shirt. And I remember it was done in such finesse, it was done in such sensitivity. So I always tell chassan and kala, and this really applies to the ikr in every marriage and really in every relationship is communication. But one of the best ways and the most important things that a person has to do in a relationship is not just when it's compliments and everything else, just a compliment. It's to be able to tell a person, to put a hand, to give a hug, to say, only a friend will tell you that the way you spoke yesterday to that person is not right. It's an amazing gift to be able to communicate. But this a mouthwash reminded me of such a principle that's kedai to always chaza over and be able to communicate. Of course, compliments. They say that every critique, especially to kids, should be preceded with at least 3 compliments. I try to do it. If you do more than that, it won't be real. 2 compliments too, especially to your wife. Havai should be zeiche. Have a wonderful day.